master, just like a wall. We couldn't out-Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out-Gavaskar at all. Janjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second-raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies tried holder and keep voice. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a short of the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out-Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out-Gavaskar at all. Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole first in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out-Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out-Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out-Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out-Gavaskar at all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the Third Empire. My name is Stephen Matheson, one of the co-hosts of the show. And as usual, on a Friday, we try to do a little lighter show. It's just about 2 hours. So first I want to say good evening to all those listening to us in your cars, listening to us in New York, Miami, London, wherever you are. Good evening. And of course, this is the Third Empire. Of course, we usually look at this show from the perspective of governance, what is in the news, and how the parties are doing in terms of the batting side and the fielding side. We have usually the batting side is the side in government right now, and the fielding side, of course, would be the opposition. So we just came out of carnival season. Oh, I see my co-host Seymour Sandiford is walking in on set now, and of course, she'd want to say her good evenings too. Simoya.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah. So as I was just saying to the public that this show, this is the Third Umpires, and you being one of the umpire, what we usually do on a Friday, we kind of take it on a Friday. But you know, I would want to maintain, because this was a short week, so I'd probably want to maintain and give some of the callers the opportunity to probably finish up what we were talking about, the carnival and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Not just from yesterday, but for the week. You know, a lot of things would have come up as a result of the carnival, what would have taken place and that kind of thing. And people may still want to discuss some of those things. But as usual, we look at things from the perspective of the batting and the bowling side, and what side is doing, who is batting better, or who batted better, and of course how the feeling is going. One of the things that was notable to me in the news today, or the newspaper, the headline, especially in the Guardian, was the fact that this was the in terms of crime and criminality, this was the safest carnival in 20 years. 20 years we're talking here. This is since about 2005 or 2006.
In terms of reports and so on.
Yeah.
Now, when we
So,
say this is safer, I think because there are people who are calling and saying, oh, but we had all these incidents happening. Those are minor compared to, I believe, what they would be checking for in terms of statistics.
well, not only that, but
And even they're looking at comparative data.
yeah,
over the
comparative
years.
data
So
over the
they say
years
it's
and
lower based on the data before.
based on the data. So it's nothing. It doesn't mean nothing happened, but it's the lowest compared when you compare everything else. Everything else being equal. So you know, one of the things we had been saying since April, right, was that things seem to, and from crime reports, not crime reports, but for this perspective of crime, murders and you know that kind of thing, there seemed to have been a reduction, right? And we saw that this year we had just over 300 and something murders, as compared to other years where you had 500 and 600, right? Now that is not different from what would have happened in the last UNC dispensation, where crime was serious crimes like murders and things take a serious dip at the time, and persons would have attributed that. I don't know how the party, the bowling side would have, right? I don't know how the bowling side would have characterized that, but clearly when we started discussing the fact that crime was going on, I don't know if you remember the day we had Philip Alexander as we would have interviewed Philip Alexander in this program.
Oh,
And
all right.
we were saying that we noticed that there's a notable decrease in crime thus far. And persons were saying, well, they can't really count that because we have a state of emergency and, you know, to some extent certain things are suppressed and that kind of thing. But now we seeing in the newspapers and we seeing the statistics is showing that trend, that's seemingly downward trend. And the headline is now saying, in terms of carnival, the safest carnival in 20 years. So I don't know if, you know, if there's a correlation that we would want to look at, or if I don't want to hear what is Friday.
I really want to hear. I want to hear
hear
views because again,
what the
as we said,
views are on this,
this
because
is stats.
exactly.
But, the press is space bar.
Right. Yeah.
This is statistics. This is
I
not.
really want to hear what you know the public have to say about that, because clearly, the statistics in like
Correct.
and the information is there for everybody to see. So what might be contributing to that decrease in crime and criminality?
No, I would agree that we had really good visibility of the police. I appreciated seeing them all through Port of Spain and so on. I understand, I think one of the carnival days there was a lot of wrecking and stuff that happened near to Hyatt. So, I mean, we see the presence, we see a lot of stuff happening. So, it helps. It helps for the comfort of persons who enjoy the carnival season and they want to go out and have a good time without feeling scared or feeling a kind of how. And as we on that point, I was talking to somebody today about an elderly person about the tents. We were talking about that, why the population drop or the interest drop for the tents. And he was mentioning a security issue. I don't know if you know about that, but you know, people will feel like they don't want to go out to these calypso tents and then, you know, the bandit and thing waiting to rob them after. So I don't know if that happened to anybody else, you know, but
what are you saying? This person was saying that was the
reason for them why they stopped going to the calypso tents. So with the police visibility over the carnival period, hopefully people felt much more comfortable to engage, go outdoors and be part of the activities. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah, and if of course, if we are seeing this trend, then that will encourage more people to participate in the carnival, people who would have stayed away because of the expectation that there might have been, you know, more crime that may have affected them.
Yeah.
But whether or not the people believe that
True.
crime is on the
True.
decrease, because maybe from where you are not seeing that.
Correct. Correct.
I would really want to hear what you have to say, what the public have to say, especially those who would usually, you know, have a position that it is not happening, it is really no decrease, no reduction in it and that kind of thing. I would want to hear what you have to say as to the
About
reason
it,
why the state is saying that it was the safest carnival in 20 years. 20 years is a long time.
That's correct.
You'll be talking about since 2005 or 2006, somewhere there. A lot of things have happened since. So, what do you have to say, public? I really would like to hear that. Right?
Feel free to call us. We'd love to hear that.
Yeah, call us and you know, let's have that kind of discussion. Outside of that, I saw there was a press conference by a minister in the Ministry of the Prime Minister, a minister from the Prime Minister office.
Or the new person that came in.
And he spoke, which, and I have to agree with him again. He spoke about the fact that remember we were talking yesterday about the outage or the fact that
TTT, yeah, he said
TTT,
that's not an issue, it's a non-issue at this point.
But what he said, because there was a press conference apparently by the PNM, which asked for an inquiry into that particular incident.
Yeah.
And I found it to be really kind of like queer that you'd ask for an inquiry into something like that. What was the mischief behind that? What did the drop in transmission at the time, what did it cause, or cause the country, or did it in any way affect the judging?
And
right?
To me that makes a major difference, right?
Did it affect the judging? And clearly the answer to that is no, it could not have. It could not have,
because crowd response doesn't have anything to do with
not even crowd response. Who you viewing it on television? What
you
could
are not
you have? What
that's
could
what I'm
you have
saying.
done?
It's not to say voting by
Exactly.
you know there's a text where you could vote something
Exactly.
like that. It doesn't affect the overall judging or the scores presented. I am saying it wouldn't hurt to just show it over.
But what is but it's shown all over. It's played. He said
But
it's
then,
played all over.
even if you show the whole concert or whatever over, isn't it going to record the part where the drop happens?
No. It's not just TTT was recorded. No. You had a host of other media houses.
All right, but
it
then
was
just
recording. So
sure
we really lost nothing. But more than that, what he said was very, very notable to me was the fact that they didn't change out no staff in TTT since they came in office. The people in TTT is the same people that was there under the PNM.
I beg to differ, sir.
Okay, well, I don't know. That's
There
what he
are
said.
people who will remove. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with the production team, but there were people who would have been.
Right. So what he was quick to say, and maybe in the public, the people who may have information other than that, or information to refute what he would have said, maybe you can call us. But he did say that it's the same staff, TTT operation, the same staff that was present when the PNM was in office. So and that is true for a lot of the big ministries and the big state-owned enterprises and things. No, you didn't really have no change in any guards and that kind of thing in most of them. I could talk for where I am. We didn't
That's
change
not
any
true at
staff
all.
and that
Because
kind
they
of
changed the whole morning show.
Well, that's
morning.
different thing. The host of programs and
They
them
no,
things
they
change all
changed
time.
the entire show. It's no longer what that show used to be, so they change it, and there's something new now. They're bringing somebody else.
No, well, that's a different thing. We talking about the production staff.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. There's a difference if it's the production team, but if you make a blanket statement and say, no, they didn't change out any staff, yes, you did.
Okay. So the people who
So it's probably production team. The production team
made a
remain.
difference in that kind of thing. The people who could have made a difference.
They remain.
The minister said that there was no change in that.
But who was talking about change in the production team in terms of staff, though? How did that come up?
Well, that would have come about if you are saying that, if your argument is that your intention was to censor the list, what people hear on TTT, and the people responsible for that would have either been people who you put in place to do that, or persons who were in some way supportive of the government to be able to do that. But they are saying that they didn't change out those staff. So I don't know if how much sense that make, but or what kind of credence
I see.
you can ascribe to the statement of censorship in that area. But I would like to hear what the people have to say about that.
Yeah, I would love to hear. I would love to hear that.
So that was interesting. It was interesting to hear that press conference and what they have had to say about that.
Well,
Because
if it's not a big issue, then what is stopping them from just doing a replay of the entire
well,
Dimash
I
rap?
am sure they may have. I don't watch TTT, but I am sure that I don't know if you, but I
No,
am
but
sure
put
that
it out in a press release that, due to the technical issues, whatever, we are happy to present a replay to the citizens of. I am saying if there is nothing sinister about the situation, we wouldn't have a problem putting the replay out.
But-
Especially because it will appease people, because you get a chance to actually hear the calypso.
You really think it will appeal? You really think it will
I am
appease the
saying-
people who
I
talking
am-
when that is already public? Those songs, all those songs, you could go on YouTube and hear them songs. I mean, most of them songs out there.
No,
Those
they
those
are all out
informations
there.
out
But
in the media,
if
playing
the
all
issue
over.
is Helen Francis Calypso, I'm saying just replay the entire show. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It may not appease everybody, but it says to you, listen, we don't have anything to hide here. This was a technical issue here. We were able to recover the footage. This is the entire program. That's all.
I hear you.
That's all.
And maybe that might be something that.
People may still,
might
as I
make
said,
sense
people
to some
still
people.
argue, but at the very least, you have done your part. We had a technical issue. We were able to recover all the footage. This is the...
One thing I agree with, and this goes in the whole narrative of this falls in the whole narrative of conspiracy theories and all that kind of thing that they hear around Carnival.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
normal bacchanal. I like him. I think the country should just move on.
Just
from
move
this.
on,
There
let it
are
be.
bigger fish to fry. We have real things happening in Trinidad and Tobago that we had to fix.
That's another
Real
view, and I
things.
don't object to that either,
Yeah.
because the reality is it didn't make a difference in terms of the scoring. Somebody else still won. Helen didn't even place.
Let me take this caller.
Yeah.
Senior caller calling here. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Moya.
Yeah.
Well, I am not going to go back to this Elon Francis matter. I wouldn't talk about that. That's a waste. That's wasting time and energy. The point. What I want to talk about is the safest carnival and the statistics. That's the data. And I'm saying that if, in fact, where it came from, it came from the police who did well, obviously it might have come from them. And I don't think that the newspaper is going to publish that data without probably fact-checking or doing their own review of the information or the comparative analysis that was done by the state, wherever the source of that information. So it could be trusting. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. And again, the credibility of the source. If you don't believe the police statistics or data coming, and you don't believe that it was as I said, the media, before publishing that information, would have fact-checked or checked to see whether, in fact, the information that came from the police, whether it's correct or accurate. That's another issue, but apparently the newspaper, I think it's a responsible newspaper, and they would have sought to verify the information coming from the police, if that is the source from which it came. And the government, as a matter of fact.
But from the information you have and what you've seen thus far, I mean, we are almost to the end of February. Are you seeing on a trajectory?
You've got bills to pay.
Yeah, call back.
And so do
say,
we.
you will have to call
Let's
back
go
because
pay
we
some
are going
bills
public.
on the street. 919 FM.
Saturday, February 21st. The Saturday after Carnival. Release the Carnival Comedy Cool Down, featuring the Caribbean King of Comedy, Major Hype, and his friends.
Hey, what's up? This is your boy Major Hype, and guess what? It's all about the comedy show.
Come see Major Hype and Rhodey the Entertainer together on stage for one night only at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts, SAPA, South Trinidad. Showtime 8 p.m.
Shout out to my Trinity people. Where my Trinity people at?
Hosted by Sonny Bling. Also featuring Benjai, Ziggy Ranking, Natty and Thunder, and Talpree. Get your drinks inclusive or general tickets at all cachet outlets, Dev's Barbershop, Poppy's Waterhole, Sapa Box Office, WAC Radio, and online at Island E-Tickets. For more information, call 762-0042. Saturday, 21st February. The Saturday after Carnival. Release the comedy show featuring the Caribbean King of Comedy, Major Hype.
Bring your queen, left your machine, and we have a nice time.
Don't miss it.
You gotta love Trinity people. I don't give a who you are. Trinity people is the happiest people in the world.
Brought to you by Cachet, Poppy's Waterhole, and High Frequency Entertainment.
Not everything has to change. At KFC, we don't change the flavor, we add more. Now, get our delicious Lent value meals so you can keep on crunching. Get a fish sandwich for $45 or fish fillet with one regular side, also $45. We give you more of the taste you love for Lent. So keep on crunching with KFC. Finger licking good.
Trinidad and Tobago. The Ministry of Culture and Community Development, Pan Trinbago, and the National Carnival Commission present Carnival Lagna, the night with the champions of Carnival. Steel Pan, Mass, Calypso, and more. Join us at 7 p.m. this Saturday, February 21st at the iconic Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain. Get ready for a night filled with electrifying performances and unforgettable moments. Come celebrate with the champions of Carnival in an unforgettable showcase. Tickets are only $300. Available at Pan Trinbago's head office, 55 Don Donald Street, Port of Spain, and Pan Trinbago's website, pantrinbago.co.tt, or watch virtually via pay-per-view. US $30. You don't want to miss this spectacular event. Showtime, 7 p.m. this Saturday. The champions of Carnival. Sponsored by the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, Pan Trinbago, the National Carnival Commission, the Tobago House of Assembly, Kenson Group, BPTT, National Flour Mills, Carib, Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank, and Eaton Restaurant.
It's all over again like it's a
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
After Carnival, TNT, the show you all been waiting for. Laugh till your belly busts. In partnership with Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Limited, 28th of February at Napa, Port of Spain. Showtime, 8 p.m. sharp. Come see the funniest guys on the planet and the man who took social media by storm, Victor St. Louis, a.k.a. Pell.
You know, things so hard right now in Trinidad. You know, a store in town, no fire, 2 mannequin.
All his funny friends. Get it, Superstar, the greatest story time teller ever. Shaquille, Louis Spider-Man, Antoine, Andrew Friday, The Saint.
Ole, me you know, first it's so expensive. I went and priced a plate there. You know, they're telling me $10,000 for a plate. I say, Ole, I know sauces.
And Paniska is back.
Stop it, honey. Don't bring out the dog in me, you know. I better scrape you.
Get those tickets now. Ronnie and Caro, Mascot, Maraval Road, Port of Spain, Bruce Bar, St. Augustine, and IslandEtickets.com. For ticket hotlines, call 278-5892, 316-0814, 382-9986. Laugh till your belly busts.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Man, I went by the ATM to get some cash and the machine saying insufficient funds. I sure I have money in my account.
Boy, that happened to me already. Here what to do. Make a report to your bank. But if you're still not satisfied with how they're dealing with it, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman. Let me text you the number.
If you want to resolve a complaint with your bank, non-bank financial institution, or insurance company, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.org.tk. We can help, and our services are free.
Welcome to Reggae Brunch Tobago. Sunday, 22nd February, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Vibes Event Space, featuring the best in old school dancehall and conscious reggae music. Reggae Brunch Tobago. Dress floral for the food inclusive. Bring your coolers event you do not want to miss. With breakfast, lunch, snacks, and for dessert, one of the sweetest voices in TNT. Reggae Brunch Tobago, welcome, Jah Melody. Jah Melody. Tickets available exclusively at Cache Nationwide, La Cantina Crown Point, Nejon's Bar on the Esplanade Scarborough, Queens 300 and Kings 350. Powered by 420 The Rebel, Campari, and Reggae on the Radio.
It's a whole lot of flavor wrapped up in a twist. Some of them try to rap, but they don't rap like this. With crispy KFC tenders and lettuce and carrots and shredded tortilla embedded, perfect wherever you headed. Dripping with that creamy mayo and that mambo sauce. Let me tell them one more time to get my point across. It's a craveable, crunchable, movable, functional, flavorful meal that your taste buds must endorse. KFC, crunch twist, crunch twist. None of them, they don't make them like this.
Introducing KFC's Crunch Twist, a flavorful wrap with a delicious difference for just $29.95. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry about what happened earlier on to the caller who was engaging us earlier on. We had to go and pay some bills, and sometimes that happened, but I'm seeing like he's calling back. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just want to get some information. I made a statement earlier on, but my contribution was based on, I haven't read the article, I was just speaking based on what you would have said.
Yeah, we were looking at the headlines as a matter of fact.
Right. But what I'm saying is newspaper reporting that the government indicated that it was the safest, or
the police.
Or are they?
The police indicated that it was the safest carnival in 20 years.
But is the newspaper agreeing with it?
Well, it's on the headline of the newspaper, yeah.
They are agreeing with it.
It was in the headline of the newspapers, and the article did discuss some of the things that would have happened in the past and what did not happen this year.
Right. So I think that it's credible, right? Yes, because I think the newspaper, whichever it is, whether the Express or the Guardian, they should be responsible newspaper. And therefore, once they corroborate the data coming from the police, I think it's good to go. And,
but is, you know, the question is bigger than that, whether or not it was the safest or not. How do you feel as a citizen with what would have happened last year as opposed to what would have happened years before? Because last year, 3/4 of the year, I should say 2/3 of the year, we had a different administration. For the first time, even within that time and before, we had states of emergencies.
Well, the thing about it
but what we had a remarkable decrease in serious crime, including murders, last year.
You're not speaking about over the carnival period.
No, I'm talking in general now.
Right.
And I'm seeing this year, even with some hideous murders and that kind of thing, we are still seeing on a trajectory a lower crime rate as it relates to murders and that kind of thing.
Well, you would agree, and I would agree with you also, that one murder is too much. But the point about it is that I don't think that people generally feel safe. I don't think so. And yes, the data would reflect a decline in the crime levels. But I am saying that what we have seen, what is actually happening, I don't think that, the population feels safe, really. I think much more has to be done by the police. Yes, the crime level, the crime rate might have declined, but I'm saying that in terms of how people feel, how I feel, how other people tell me they feel, I don't think that, it's less crime, but the feeling is still there because you have still home invasion, you have shootings and whatnot, and some of the most heinous crimes you saw. I witnessed something last week with respect to some man shooting some woman and some man. I mean, I mean, these people are ungodly. And the woman on the ground and the man shooting the woman came over the woman and shot the woman after killing the boyfriend and all that kind of thing. It's children running all over the place.
Yeah.
That doesn't augur well. But in the statistics, it's good to know that the statistics, the number of persons murdered over the period has declined. And but I'm saying that I don't think that people. I would say some people, because crime seems to be, and murders and whatnot seem to have normalized among within the population. Some people don't really take it on. Some people go about it. You hear about a murder here and there, and that has been normalized within the society. But I'm saying that I think some people, generally, I don't think that people feel safe, and people are not. Generally, I don't think they become complacent with respect to the high incidence or crime as a matter of fact in Toronto. So it can happen to anybody, anywhere. You walking on the road, man, shooting, you pick up a bullet somewhere.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
If it could happen to anybody, anytime, a lot of people who probably 5 years ago who felt, nonchalant about crime and that kind of thing, at some point in time it came home to their doorstep. And when it came home, their position ended up being different.
Well, you see what happened in Trinidad here, and the politics. I don't want to say it's a light weekend, but politicians have to be very careful in this country here. because some of them believe that they are safe, they live in gated communities and whatnot. And I heard a statement yesterday from a politician, a senior politician, and he's saying, the police, you don't need no so you have the police there, you have the army there, and you could use that. But over the last couple of years when they were in power, they never created that dent in crime. In fact, we have had the highest number of murders, right? 600 and whatnot. And what has happened over the last 10 years, the data is there. You think this country has lost sight. That is the data that is there. 5,420 murders in the last 10 years. You telling me that those are the lives that were lost, Trinidadians, man, woman, child, old people, cripple, or anybody, And you could be comfortable to tell people about the government don't need so and they're not supporting it, and that they have the police and let the police they have to use. But you couldn't utilize the police effectively, and therefore you had our incidents. But some people just don't care, and the politics override the national interest and the security and safety of the people. There's not business for that. We want power and whatnot, and who they're dead. And I'm saying that people have to look at this thing seriously, because I live in one of the things that I am concerned about is that some people don't recognize that. Anybody in this country could be a citizen at any time. You could go to the grocery, you could go to the bank, you could be walking up Charlotte Street, and you could pick up a stray bullet. You could be a casualty. Anybody, you could sit down in your porch and a bullet comes from somewhere and you get lit up. And because we have had many instances of that. And therefore people have to be concerned that every effort must be made to eradicate or to decline or decrease the level of crime in this country, because it affects everybody. It's only when it comes home to them. When it comes home to them and their daughter or their husband or their mother, they begin to show some concern. But I am concerned because I know for a fact the way it is going, there's a high probability that my family, my neighbor, or anybody could be shot in Port-au-Prince. I could be worried my people going to Port-au-Prince. I tell my family, don't go up Charlotte Street, don't go up Henry Street, don't go on Ledford Street. People don't go out in the night. So I am saying that yes, there might have been a decrease in the incidence of crime in this country, yes, over the last year. But I don't think that rational people don't really feel safe in this country. You have those who it doesn't matter, they're all over the place and what give, what go, what happen. But the fact I'm talking about rational people, right-thinking people, concerned people, concerned about their lives, the lives of their children, the family as a whole, they are concerned. I am concerned. And when my people go to wherever part in Trinidad, I am a bit on edge until they come back, until they return. I don't know what could happen. You could be in a taxi, you could be in a whatever it is, and somebody come alongside and they spray you up. All these things.
Well, it's certainly sad when citizens become so fearful of doing normal things, what one would consider normal things in society.
Correct.
I mean, when that happens, that's a problem. And as you say, and I would say, and everybody would say, who is rational thinking, one murder is one murder too much. We shouldn't be having those things. But I am happy also if the status quo is changing, and if murders are on the, well, not just murders, but serious crime is on is going down. The problem is, my question is, what is being done, or what are being done to really augment that change? Because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen by somebody wishing it happen or wishing it stop happen.
No.
Certain things have to be, certain sociological, whatever, certain things has to be taken into consideration, and certain things has to be done or effected for crime to decrease.
I just want to say one thing before you turn me off. I I think that I'm looking forward to that plan by the police commissioner. He said he had a plan of action with respect to dealing with the crime and whatnot. I haven't seen it rolled out. I don't know. And then the ministry, the government plan, I don't know. Well, they have Zoso. That Zoso plan that is on the rocks for the time being, hopefully. But you need it. You can't go on this way. Something has to be done. But what was a bit happening for me is yesterday, I think the Commissioner of Police had a press conference. And it was the first time, and I hope that this is not the end of it. I saw an assistant commissioner for the Northwest Division out there with him. And I've been saying all the time, I've been saying that I am no criminologist, I'm no expert but those people who are assistant commissioners, they represent districts. They are assigned to districts. And those people the population must know them. And if you're talking about community policing and being engaged in the population must know who are the senior officers and the officers in their district. So I want to know who is the assistant commissioner or senior superintendent in charge of the district of Northwest or wherever it is, because you have what, 8 districts or 9 or 10 districts. Let these people come out and speak and what they have to, I don't know. This is not how we do business. You have to show people or give people the belief that you're serious about dealing with the crime, and let those people who are assigned to the various districts, let them account, let them go out there and meet the people, go into the communities. The question of patrol, I want to see patrolling and that kind of, I would want to see that.
But Kola, you'll have to agree also that crime seems to be, or serious crime seems to be on a trajectory based on what we've seen so far, seems to be on the decrease.
Yeah.
So it might be it might be easy for them to say, well, look, listen, what they was doing before, we're doing something different. And the fact that they're not hearing anything is what that represents the difference. I don't know.
Well,
but
I would want to, they would want to believe so, but I am saying that if you're talking about policing and you've come up, you have to just put the Zoso there. Part of the Zoso plan is the community engaged in the community. So even if you're not able to get that Zoso plan into effect, you're not able to implement it, there are aspects of it that you could implement. And one of those things is the community policing, police visibility patrols within the various communities. That is what I'm saying.
But is it that you're not seeing that, or is it that is not happening?
Well, I'm not seeing that. I know a particular district, and I see from that perspective that where you have, prior to, there was a high incidence of murders and shooting and crime. And the police, about some months ago or years ago, they put a police post in the center of that community. And what happens is that they have to drive up and down that community. And the crime level in that community has declined dramatically, because the police, they go down to the police station, as I was informed, and they in going to change the duty, probably changing officers and whatnot to take duty at the particular point. They pass through the community. The police, again, the patrol is there, and there has been a significant decrease in the level of crime and criminal activity in that area. So I'm saying the case is made out for police patrols within those areas. You have the same police comfort, and not because you have a decline. That is what is required. That is what happens in London. That is what happened in Baltimore. That is what happened in Jamaica, where in fact the crime level. So not because you have a decline in crime, but there are basic things that you need, that is needed that are needed in the communities, and you have to put it there. You have to sustain that. it has to be sustained. It's not that you're putting them and when there's a decline in crime, you say, well, let me pack up and go. You have to maintain that. Because you're going to raise ugly head again. If you don't, you have to sustain that. So put the police patrol there. Let people know who is the sergeant, who is the inspector, who is the what particular districts and whatnot. And they must be visible in the community. People must know. The first time I see the person who is in charge of the ACP in charge of Northwest, and he was speaking with the commissioner. And that must be so throughout the country. It gives people a little more comfort, a little more ease.
All right.
Give them a little more, hope. So I want to see a little more of that, and I hope that the police commissioner moves with it a lot to have that done. Thank you anyhow.
All right. Okay. Thanks, caller. All right. So that's her perspective. Good evening, caller. Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon, Mr. Matterson. Good afternoon, Simoya, and to your listeners.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Caller?
Hello?
I don't know what's going on with that caller there. Let's take this caller. Good evening, caller. Oh, fellow Empire.
Yes, good afternoon. I joined the discussion late, so I didn't hear your premise.
No,
but I don't know what value we attach to the statement that this was the safest carnival.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first issue. I don't know.
We were just reading headlines, and from what we saw, I didn't see any particular statistic, but it was coming from the police. So
yes, and my point is that the police must not. No, the politicians do what they do with statistics and information, and we understand that. But the police must not even appear to be an appendage of the directorate by using statistics and things like that are, to be honest, actually meaningless. At the end of the day, it's just carnival, which has a start date and an end date, and that will end. And what do we do after that?
Yeah, but listen, hear this. Between April, or I should say between May and December last year, now we had a state of emergency in force, but we had states of emergencies before. We had COVID, we had all kind of things. But between May and December last year, the crime rate, including murders, were notably different. 200 and something lives, 200 plus lives were saved if you measure what happened the year before. Right? Some would have said that we had a state of emergency, but we had state of emergencies before. Right? And that's the little curtail the amount of murders and that kind of thing. Now we are seeing from January to now on a trajectory, it is probably set to be even lower. So we now have to investigate whether there is some kind of correlation or not to that. Not taking into consideration what the police might have said about. Not taking into consideration what the police might have said about the lowest carnival, the lowest crime for carnival or whatever in 20 years. Not taking into consideration that generally, with just the figures, looking at the figures, one would have to say something is happening.
Well, I don't. To me that exists in a cloud. How do you divorce crime statistics from the criminal justice system? Look at the things that we have discussed on the show about the criminal. So you're talking about committal or detection, and you're talking about exit of the criminal justice system.
Correct.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle. So where we may not have problems now, that too, we have realized depends severely on the prosecution.
Correct.
And sometimes the police prosecution. So it's okay to say we have had few shootings this month. But what about the eight cases that were discharged because the police did not do their duties?
Yeah, and that is something. That is something I'm sure we would have come to, or we would have alluded to at some point in time, because we just dealing with on the face of it. The facts are, or the statistics, or what we're seeing is that a lower crime rate or a lower murder rate and that kind of thing. But there are other things, more severe things, and which is why I was asking the caller, what might have contributed to that? What was the correlation? What we had to look at? What are some of the things that we had to look at this to see whether this is sustainable, or whether this is not just a flukes, or this is not a seasonal thing, or what?
Yeah, because we may have, right, for instance, we may have only, let's just say hypothetically, we had only 5 murders or 10 murders within that period, right? But we had 15 people discharged, or 8 people discharged, where cases disappeared, and we're talking about double murders. In some cases, we're talking about shooting, wounding with intent. That too is also part of the criminal justice system. You understand? Which, as we know, creates a cycle, because we have seen some killings associated with those who were freed upon the cessation of the SOE. Some of those people got into trouble as predicted. So, I mean, I do not take away any Pyrrhic victory that they say, okay, this was the lowest and that was the lowest. But, I mean, we could avoid that. Let me get down to the root of it. You know, take your pat on your back. I have no problem with that, because sometimes we only see the bad and we don't see the good. So if the police are working hard, you know, and but you see, it is hard for them to even take credit, because you haven't outlined a plan.
Exactly, and this is what the caller was just saying. That's the question the caller was just. This is what the caller was just alluding to. So we don't know if it's a flukes. We don't know if it's because people afraid the police because they're killing people. We don't know.
Not normally for carnival, people are distracted. All kind of things, you know. Them fellas want to play a little fat too, you know. Them fellas will put down their gun and go and take a little wine and thing. But don't fool yourself. That's just the carnival season. So don't count that as a victory of any sort. Remember, these guys are humans too. You know. So you might see an increase in robberies, right? Because I heard about some people getting robbed at the Savannah. What about that? Several people were robbed. The article, the newspaper carried it at one of the flavor events, and it was several people at one time. All right, you'll have those petty robberies and all these things, because man want to buy costume for the lady friend and all of these different little things, and all these, the co-mingling of certain sectors of society in one space under the pretense of enjoyment and frolic. You'll get some people who, you know, there was a stabbing in St. James. I think that was Juve. I read that. There was so, we expect all these little skirmishes, and you don't really blame the police for all of that, because the police cannot be everywhere. And to be honest, we have to know how to behave at the end of the day. You understand? But apart from that, by what measure do you lift up this trophy? Because we don't know what was the plan, if it had a plan. We ain't know if it's Boise didn't come out, why all of this happened, or Boise came out. We don't know really and truly what happened. So I think the celebration is, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of the statement, and about the carnival one, I surely don't understand the value of that discussion, because we have more serious problems. We have problems with recruitment.
Much more serious.
Let me start there. We have much more serious problems that the statistics will tell you. We have a lot of problems. There are problems with promotion. There are problems with all kind of bacchanal. We have problems with uniform disappearing. Good. Give us a report on the improvement in the police. Because
we have a problem with investigation. I mean, that's correct. When you look at the Samaru killing, I mean, we still hear nothing credible from the police.
That's correct.
That's correct. Except what we saw from the public and the videos.
And we do know that these things contribute to crime.
Exactly.
We do know that. We're very, very aware that these things contribute to crime when all of these So to just come out and belch out statistics, okay, that sounds good if you ain't the statistics. But everybody has statistics. Donald Trump uses some too, you know? He doesn't really care if you check it or not. At the end of the day, crime is not one singular problem. And the police services have had issues, they have had wins, and we want to celebrate the wins with them. But you have to go deeper, because we are customizing them statistics. We are customizing them thing every month. You know, we seen 4 people dead, you telling us it's 4 less. We telling you it's 4 more. Because everyone is one too much. That's how the society conflict. You know? They telling you, no, last year it had 14. For this month it had 10. What does that? Does that make us feel any safe? Does that accomplish your objectives?
Correct.
Good? Like, that doesn't do that. And to be honest, the inherent problems with the system, in my view, will go further. So tell us how much officers were retrained. Tell us where this unit went. Tell us these things, these problems that we see every day that you're trying to fix.
Tell us what you do from a social development standpoint to change the reality of some of the people who may, in fact, commit crime at some time down the road.
Yes.
You know,
yes. Tell us about the soft side of policing.
Exactly.
Tell us what you do in these youth clubs. Tell us what you do in these intervention programs with these youth. Let us know what's going on in these schools. Don't let me see it on Facebook. Tell us about what went on in these schools.
What changes they make in recruiting police officers or even training police officers to deal with the public in a certain kind of way, and you know, that kind of thing. All these things contributes.
Tell us what has been going on with these investigations that have question marks over them. Tell us this. You don't need to give us the details. Tell us at what stage they are. Tell us if they are at a very adult stage. Tell us if people have been suspended, if or not. Okay, you ain't really suspend them yet. You could tell the truth. We can demand. Tell us what, outline the process for the public. Edify us. Tell us what is the process and the procedure when it comes to discipline in the police service. That will help us.
Of course.
That will tell us who to call. Up to now, they cannot tell us what to do if the police stop you. Because if you put your hand up, we know that it's bullets. You understand? That is what we know. That will make us feel safe. It will make us feel safe to know how do you interact and you engage with the police. How? What is the real procedure? What are your rights as a citizen? What is the police rights? Tell me that. And you can tell us that every day.
That's correct.
Because so far, that is up in air. We don't know. We don't know. We have had evidence of hands in the air ending up in death. So if the police stop you, I don't know if you know what to do. You might bawl, you might scream, you might panic and get to death. And
I understand, just today I was looking at a clip by an attorney who I would call her a social media attorney, who would have indicated that the lady who was in the car with the gentleman, with her boyfriend, she would have given a statement, and that the police haven't taken an official statement from the lady as yet.
Wow.
But she would have given a statement nonetheless, and the statement in a significant way would have corroborated what we saw on the camera.
Yeah.
And she would have given a ball by ball position of what would have happened on that day, and it doesn't sound good for the police at all.
Wow.
So when you tell us crime, but still, you're talking about violent crime.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But still, we still not hearing we still hearing the investigation. Let the investigation take its course.
Yeah.
That's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
So all of that, and you're correct. All of that are things that we need to hear about. We need for public to really feel confident that things are happening, and this is not just a flukes.
Correct.
Yes, tell us about the missing police uniforms. Tell us about police uniforms being worn and police ammunition being found at crime scenes. Those are the things that make us feel unsafe. But just today, and I wouldn't take up your time because I'll hang up after that, a friend of mine who called me because her son was arrested falsely. The boy is about 19, was in a police station for a couple of days because the complainant's parent was a police.
Wow.
Good? And here's how far it reached. The police went to the young man, said I didn't do that, it wasn't me. They went to the young man's work because he's employed. And they have video evidence that he came to work. Right? When they review the evidence and the footage does not even look or resemble the young man. So they're asking the complainant, why you choose this young man? Coincidentally, they were in class together when they were in school.
Wow.
Good?
Yeah. That's the kind of madness.
Laughing.
Huh?
Yeah, the police laughing because the police saying the person on this video don't even look like the boy you're accused. So then why was he held for such a time? You could read between the lines. So as long as people and power trump police procedure, we will not feel safe.
That's right.
Exactly.
Good? Because that is what is going on with that killing of that young man. Good? Because what you're telling us is happening and what we're seeing happening is two different things. How you want us to be safe? You don't know if you see a police today to say good morning, sir, and giving information. You don't know if it is safe to give information anymore. And you want public trust. Until the public is safe in giving information, then crime is lurking. Crime is lurking.
Yes,
It's lurking.
So we going for a break? We going for a break?
Yes. Yes, no problem.
Yeah? Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
This meal tip is being brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options. All made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
Here's a tasty meal tip from Royal Castle. Sometimes you just feel like eating a nice sandwich, right? The sensation of biting into a soft bun with the crunch of fresh lettuce and the taste of tomatoes along with the added condiments, all a treat to your taste buds. At Royal Castle, our sandwiches are a hit. Try the center breast chicken and flying fish sandwiches, the wholesome veggie burger, and at selected locations you can also get the grilled salad or grilled sandwiches. So when you get the craving, remember that the Castle has some delicious sandwiches. Ask for them in a combo too with your favorite side and a drink. Royal Castle, our culture, our taste.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. Come enjoy any of our 5 delicious fish options. All made with a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal. 2 slices of fish with a side. The fish combo. 2 slices of fish, 1 side, and a drink. Maybe the fish sandwich combo of 1 sandwich, a side, and a drink. Want more fish? Well, the Royal Fish Meal is for you. Enjoy a slice of fish, a fish sandwich with a side and a drink. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest Royal Castle.
That tip was brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste.
Okay, listeners and callers, we are back. So we would have heard what let's take this caller very early. Caller, good evening.
Yes, so pleasant good afternoon to the Empire, Mr. Matterson there in the panel.
Yes.
To the lady. Yes. Now, I started to believe the Commissioner of Police in the early. I like his style and everything. I say, boy, like we have somebody here who could be on the mark here now. I was following him up and so on. But I'll tell you when I lost all confidence. But let me tell you this. Tuesday, listening to Tuesday night news, the commissioner said that there were no carnival-related incidents. So, well, that make me lock him off. Clean.
Because of the incident in St. James.
Right, because on the Monday night news, I saw they lifting up a guy in a van. They say he was stabbed and it was fatal. So I said, well, what kind of thing is this? Something had to be wrong with this man. Right? So, no. But let me tell you when I lost all confidence in him. When he and the Homeland Security Minister stood up in a conference and told this nation that the radar in Tobago detected drugs in Karen, I lose confidence in him.
But that was before. You should have lose confidence in him before, because
right.
that was about 4 months ago.
Right, but I tell you, I lost confidence at that time. But I tell you now, when I heard him make those statements on the Tuesday night news in Carnival Tuesday night, like they interview him during the course of the evening or so, and when he made those statements, that made me lock him off now. When he said there was no carnival-related incidents. So that made me lock him off clean. Right? So I don't want to hear that commissioner of police anymore. He needs to be changed. Well, that is just me, eh? Well, anybody else who like him and whatever, or they could follow him and whatever. But me, I lock him off clean. I don't want to hear him again, right? Because he doesn't deserve that position.
Alright. So let me take our next call.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening to the umpires.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, you know, you can't do the same thing and expect different results.
Correct.
A lot of things that change, especially when you look overseas and so on. You see that a lot of crimes that are solved, especially in courtrooms and so on, whenever the police make the arrest. These cases are won because they have people who come forward, they have witnesses who come forward and say, well, yes, they saw one, as the case may be. In this case here in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of people are scared of the police. They're scared. And the thing about it is that it's a police that we know for a fact that they are dirty police in the police service. They work.
And if we know that, the police should know that too.
Well, right. Mr. Griffith, remember when Mr. Griffith came in, Gigi came in to be commissioner, he came up with a plan to do lie detector tests with police officers. You remember that? And who wasn't willing to do it, they were being transferred. So the fact is, people are, the citizenry are afraid of the police officers. They are afraid to make reports because of what a lot of us on the ground here know of police officers. So once you don't have the cooperation, or they say if you see something, say something, but who going and say something? Because you're telling yourself, if you see something, say something. Okay, I saw this. All right, I'm going in the station. I know, I could tell you one incident that I know some years ago.
And everybody know an incident like that.
Well, I will tell you this one here. A woman witnessed a murder, umpires. She went to report it in the station, right? I wouldn't call the station. She reported it in the station. And before the woman reached by her doorstep, she was dead. Wow. From the station, before she reached home, somebody already made a call. Somebody came and said they see you commit a murder. This is how serious it is. The police are supposed to be solving crime and protecting us. Some of them, not all, but some of them are the same police officers who are involved in crime. And this is why the thing cannot solve. It cannot solve their allegations. There are allegations out there where if a gang leader needs to get somebody by a different gang, he cannot go into that area. But you will pay a police officer to go and put on the work. These are things on the ground. So when they come and say here we have, and you see that incident, umpires with where the commissioner and Mr. Alexander said that they find a quantity of drugs and they show you a big display of drugs and in some old boat. The boat didn't even have an engine. The boat didn't even have an engine.
Oh God.
And then they said the radar make we find that, and then to add salt to the wound now, the commissioner come out and say why didn't go after the men? Well, it had mosquitoes. I didn't want to send my men and they get bite. I mean, come on. Come on. So what I'm saying this evening is, yes, everybody wants this thing to stop. The citizenry wanted to stop, but at the end of the day, the same people who are talking about solving crime, if you see something, say something, some of them inside here are involved in crime. So that you don't have people are afraid to make report. There are some drug lords that are being raided. But here what happened is the said police officers calling certain criminals to the know and say, we coming up by you, pull your thing. We coming by you. So this is the problem that we are facing in Trinidad and Tobago. There's no real honesty there with some of the police officers. So people are scared to even say they see something or make a report because of that. I don't know how that's going to get cleaned up. But if this commission is saying, being who he said that he is, he should start doing it. Mr. Griffith started doing it. He should continue doing it. There are too many rogue officers in the police service. And that is one of the main problems we have out here. White crime is what it is. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Kola. Yeah. And I haven't heard one comment by a caller so far that doesn't make sense. All of them make a lot of sense.
Correct.
Good evening, Mr. President.
I get to what? On a short afternoon, good afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
Who they with you?
Good afternoon, somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that is what I want to know, because I want to know where the sexy voice is.
But we have plenty callers, Mr. President. We are
well, you ain't right now, I give a little compliment there.
No, I just say we have about 50 callers on the line right now. So we want to take some of them.
And it's short, it's very short, I know that. Yeah, all right. So here what I'm going to say, right? Because as a layman in the system, the guns and them ain't going nowhere, right? The guns hiding in the bush in some kind of way. All the guns and them, they stay there. So, and the carnival, people might want to go out and wind up and things, so they put away they go a little bit, recognizing them. And you know, a lot of people vote in this government, so they're giving this government a little kind of, let me see where they're doing now, because I'm talking for me and all, let me see where they're doing and things. But you know what, the guns and them ain't going away, so them fellas must decide, like, look man, let me pull away the gun for 2 minutes, but the gun ain't going away, the crime ain't going away. So, I don't know how much the police taking that thing that them stop crime and them stop crime. Some people just must say want to go and interfere with who interfere with them and all them kind of but the guns and them ain't got no will. What happened today could happen. I say could happen tomorrow. I didn't say it will. And what happened today could happen tomorrow.
And what we
but the guns in Trinidad and Tobago, it ain't going no way. I think when the guns come out of the place, then we could start to talk that time. Will cool down a little bit. But if the guns are on and the guns ain't gone nowhere, then the guns just put away. I remember COVID, you know. COVID come. It dropped down a little bit. But it's still a COVID thing you can see. You don't know when COVID will rise back up. Well, it's the same thing with the guns. Oh, yeah, have a nice evening.
Thank you. Right? So what is critical to understand? Let me take this caller. Caller, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah.
Right. Let me be quick on the draw here. We had to be very careful of who we get in this information that the country sees. Right? A lot of people, they're standing in different positions and the man on the ground. And they come in and telling you, boy, thing nice. Let me draw the example. I could call names, right?
Yeah.
We would see Philip Alexander walking in the street in Westmoreland in the night and telling me, it's the safest carnival. Look how thing nice. We safe. It are no crime. but look where he is at. But if he goes 100 feet away, the crime is there. The people had a house close up, right? So I saying on crime, you have to ask the public, not how much murders, but are you feeling safe?
That's a very good question.
As my partner,
correct.
As my partner was there earlier on say, he said when he wife and children go on the road, he frightened till they come back home. So a lowered murder rate, not helping not helping me.
It ain't helping nobody.
Because you're frightened still.
Yes.
And then the last caller here telling you, the police corrupt. And Gary was the man who was cleaning it up. You understand? And let me just touch on one thing before I go. Because the same minister made a post yesterday talking about the gangs in the Maracas Bay with the tents and chairs, holding the people, distracting the people, stressing them out, right? And he mentioned that before. And today, he did another video on the same gangs in Maracas Bay, humbugging the people who come to just see the beach and relax and bathe. Now, Maracas Bay is touted as a tourist attraction for all those people, especially during Carnival time. So I'm saying, UNC just had a SOE. How come you didn't clean up the gangs in Maracas Bay, if there are gangs? Secondly, is Philip Alexander wanting a Zoso for the Maracas Bay area? Is that where we reach? That is simple things that the government could solve. If you have a gang problem, people killing you out with chair and table and the quarreling and the vex and you're frightened. Clean it up. You don't need, we need to go to Parliament and write another law. This is my question to the public, and probably they could call in and join.
All right, thanks, caller.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
9 minutes.
Yeah. Caller, good evening.
Yes, good afternoon to the panel and to your listeners.
Yeah.
You know, I really enjoyed the show today, and I want to say that I give everybody who call in some extra respect for not diving into some foolishness. But let me start. When I listened to the contribution, I realized we're wasting plenty money in the country because the government and the police could come right on this show and get many of the solutions that they need to make most of the problems that we face a thing of the past.
Correct.
Now, as plenty persons would have mentioned, though these also would have certain benefits that we may have experienced from it, it doesn't take nothing for the police to use or introduce some of the measures right now. There doesn't need to be a curtailing of person rights for some of these things that persons are calling for to be implemented, right? Especially the community stuff that Mr. West would have spoken about. The thing is, Zoso or not, we have to address two things, or else the top will continue to spin in the mud. The first thing is, the government needs to understand what their responsibility is in crime and start to do it, which is, we are in 2026 by now, right? You also supposed to have supplied the police service with proper functioning, efficient working body cameras and create law that makes it mandatory with high penalties if they don't follow the law or if they choose to tamper with the device or its footage that it collects, right? The second thing that we have to address is the police need to start to speak the truth, because you cannot be seeing what we saw with Joshua Samaru and give us the nonsense that the police service commissioner offered to us and expect that if that doesn't fix, that crime will be eliminated in this country. It just don't work so. As there's always say, Mr. Matheson, there's many things that need addressing, but it have to address all at once. So we cannot just want to curtail the rights of person and give these police officers, in inverted commas, extra power when we're not addressing their shortcomings. It will not work. Because as the person rightfully said, one of the callers, he didn't want to mention where the incident took place, where the woman was murdered before reaching home, but I will. That was in Mova Station. right? Mobile station where the woman went to make that report. And before she could reach her doorsteps, that was the end of it, right? And this is not now we're facing these challenges, and it is not that the police could say that they are unaware, because it have plenty evidence, right? That shows what we are, what we already know. Plenty evidence.
So we come to the end of the show. I want to give our next caller a quick tour. We hear your point. Let me give our next caller another opportunity just before the show ends. But they make a lot of sense there, caller. Yeah.
So we have to admit the reality is basically what we're saying here. The numbers are just like, it's a bit tone deaf. And we have to understand that there are realities that the police are not addressing.
People have already become,
and that's the truth.
People have already become nonchalant.
That's correct.
Where crime is concerned. And let's take this caller. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon. Quickly, our umpire Matheson and our colleague umpire there. All right, quickly. You see, I was talking about the reduction in crime, especially for the carnival season, and maybe since the new administration that came in. We have to understand that the Minister of National Security, well, the Homeland Security Minister and the Commissioner of Police, they apparently seems to have a lot of support among the ranks, because they will have batches of lower rank officers and in supervisory levels who will more or less support them based on batch culture. Right? That's a critical point.
Okay.
And then the new commissioner, he gave what they call recognition in terms of always kick income. He gave commendations, people were promoted.
Today's a short day. We come to an end of the show, and certainly we'll want to continue this discussion.
Okay, nice.
Right?
Nice.
So folks, go ahead.
Yeah?
Good afternoon.
So good afternoon, and call us next week.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Boy, I got in an accident a while ago. I was in traffic and my car get bounced from behind.
Well, then they're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the insurance company go fix it up.
Fix up? Huh? I make my claim the next day. And up to now, I can't hear from the insurance company. I need my car fixed.
Look, you better go to the Financial Services Ombudsman. I'm sure they can help.
Yeah, I'm going to check them now.
To resolve a complaint with your insurance company, bank, or non-bank financial institution, contact the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman at 800-4FSO or visit www.ofso.com.